Hello and welcome to another edition of the Unconventional Grower on plot 14 somewhere in the big wide world. Today we're cleaning out the shed. We're going to be staying in the shed. We've got a bit of a harvest. We have to have a look at the damage that's the first onset of frost may have caused. I'm particularly worried, not so much worried, but concerned over the cucumbers, so we'll have a look at those. Right, let's get to it. So the cucumbers themselves are fine, but as you can see, the plants, just from the other day when we were on taking the last video, have really died back. So you can see where the fruit is. I've not opened this as yet. The stuff inside doesn't seem to be overly bad, as you wouldn't expect that, but certainly the cucumbers are now starting to die away, revealing the fruit. There's two there. Chilies looking nice. I'm going to be transplanting the chilies from in the other bed. I'm going to try and overwinter them because I've done nothing, and it's a shame to waste what appears to be a good healthy plant. So we're going to get a few of these harvested today, and then I'm going to try and move the plant into the box house and then see about actually shutting the box house properly, because that will protect the plants a little bit from the frost. So I've made a start just clearing this bed out. That's just under the apple tree, and what we can see is a lot of these strawberry runners. I think I mentioned in a previous video that they'll send these shoots out. So I've got an absolute abundance of strawberry plants, which seem a shame to dig them out. So I may transplant some of those, maybe onto some of the wood chipped area, or maybe in the food forest. So that's this bed fettled out. What we've done is lifted some of the onions. Some will just about be ready for the pot, and some of the smaller ones are going to go into that box house and see what they can do over the winter time. So what I'm doing now in readiness for some of these onions to go into this plot, into this bed, is just really digging down into the soil. It's quite chunky because, well, the compost layer has kind of mixed in with the soil. The soil's become very hard underneath. So what I'm doing is just trying to dig some of that out, loosen it up a little bit, and then what we'll do is just give this a dusting with some new compost, and then we'll sit these in. Whilst I'm digging out, however, you'll recall from earlier on in the season we put some garlic in this bed, and that's the small garlic that's come from it. So they're not too bad, all told. And over there we've got, well, actually there's a Cape gooseberry shell there. We've got the artichokes. We're going to dig them out today, and then those are the other peppers, the chilies that we want to try and overwinter if possible. That far plant seems to have a couple of fruit on those, so we'll get this tidied out, and then we'll get some compost on top, and then we can use this bed then for the overwintering bed. Right, I've made a start removing the artichoke plants, and you can see there we've got quite a harvest off this one plant. not too bad. And then just moving around, we've got the Cape gooseberries that are dropping. Some are quite yellow, and they're really, really sweet. They're unbelievable fruits, them. So something I'm wanting to grow on again next year. So the compost, 2 bags of compost is now in this quarter of this box house. Conscious decision to make sure we've got a thick depth, a good depth. So now what we'll do is come across and plant some of the onions, and then we need to get some more compost for this bit, but that's not going to be today. So right, we'll get the onions in here, and then we can switch back round to sorting these out so they're not in the path. That's the artichokes. And what I might do is some of these that are split, I may transplant into this bed behind us here, so that we've got a bit of a succession sowing going on there to try and move it out of this bed. So now we've got the artichokes in this section of the bed, we're just literally going to cover those over and hope they overwinter, a little bit like the volunteer potatoes tend to do. And we're hopefully going to see them in the spring stroke summertime. Right, it's time to get the compost on here, get these bagged up, and then it's brew time. And then we've got these still to harvest, the coops still to harvest, and then it's on with staining, and that just about brings us to the end of the day. So we're back on it now after a brew break, where we're harvesting tomatoes now. You'll see the difference between these tomatoes and the one that's in that bed there is that these are not split, unlike the others, and that's due to the fact that they're under cover and not getting as much water. Right, we'll get these harvested. I think we're going to start removing some of the plants, but such as the cucumber that seems to have shot. Yeah, right, let's get on with this one. So I've just made a start now in this box house here. It's got all the cucumbers in. I'm going to certainly harvest 1 or 2, but what I've done is just simply folded them back into the bed, into the box, to protect it a little bit more. We're not ready to harvest so many, but we can certainly take 1 or 2. Now, what I have done as well is I've harvested these, well, I actually just weeded them out, the horseradish that's growing erroneously in this plot, in this bed. It's not meant to be here, but I'm wishing I hadn't now, because they look quite tender roots, and I do enjoy some roast beef at Christmas Day, roast beef with some horseradish sauce, homemade horseradish sauce. Can't beat it. And so I think I'm going to keep these other bits in for that purpose. I'm just down in the red cabbage bed, just filtering out those that are just not going to do anything, such as this here. That's not going to do anything in comparison to these that have got really good solid hearts. And this one here that I've selected to harvest, I've just taken some of the outer leaves off, but as you can see, that is quite a specimen. One for the pot tonight. Right, so we've got the tomatoes harvested now from a range of different beds. We're still going to keep the straggling ends of the cherry falls in. We're hopefully going to get another round of harvest with the ones that's remaining, and I think we're going to extract those plants and prepare the bed for next year. Just as a whiz round, oh yes, we've got some beetroot that we need to just collect this time round. Leeks looking good. They all go through the winter into spring. We've tidied these out a little bit, 1 or 2 there at the back that I've just missed, but never mind. Time's against me now. I've only got an hour left, and I still need to get a coat of stain on the shed. That's the harvest in the bag. We've now got these. These are not the Cherry Falls variety. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. They're now just starting to blight up or whatever. Not great. There's one on the floor there. That's had it. Right, now we're gonna come across here. We've noticed there's one or two plums that have now started to fall. So now is the time to get those harvested. I'll just remove the stopper. Look at them. Look at them. We're in October. 11th of October. And we've still got plums. Fantastic. Looking now at the plot from the bench as I take in another brew. Plums are now harvested. We've now achieved all the tasks that we wanted to achieve today, with the exception now of the shed, which I've got about an hour just under to make a good start with that. And then we've got the mini grower to pick up from school. So, right, we'll finish this brew and get on with the last remaining task. Right, we've got the shed stained, looking good, but we have noticed one or two things are wrong in that coming around here we've got a split, so that needs addressing. Right, that's brought us to the end of today's proceedings. We've got all what we wanted to do done. We found that a little bit of felt on the shed that needs attention, so next time we're up we need to get that sorted. But for now, that'll bring today to a close. Thanks for watching and join us again soon.